The 4 web access management problems that lead to regulatory fines. Courtesy of idmchecklist.com from Informatics. The SOX rules on web access management are clear with regard to the legal requirements controlling who has access to what. The legislation reads, in part, that a company must verify company transactions are poorly authorized, recorded, and reported according to GAAP, and that assets are safeguarded from unauthorized use. The optimal word here is authorized. That is the role of the Web Access Manager. Web access management tools like Oracle Access Manager or CA Single Sign-On check 2 items. Number 1, credentials, and number 2, authorization. Credentials are the user ID and password. Authorization is the process of checking the user for proper authority to access the application. In identity management or IDM systems, this authorization is usually driven by roles. Roles are an abstraction that sets the attributes, groups, and DN or distinguished name of the user in LDAP or Lightweight Directory Access Protocol or Active Directory. Here are the top 4 problems that can cause your web access management system to run afoul of regulations and lead to regulatory fines if the problems persist. Web access management mistakes. There are 2 general areas where a single sign-on web access system can go wrong with regards to granting access. Number 1, problems in the access management tool itself, and number 2, problems with user provisioning. Some of these are technical, some are procedural. Number 1, replication and sync issues. In a high availability environment, the Web Access Manager loads balances between LDAP or Active Directory user stores. These can have latency issues with replication. A change made in one server might not make it to another server for several hours, so an employee could still log in after being fired. Number 2, offboarding. Much of the emphasis on access management and user provisioning is onboarding, but companies need to make sure to revoke access of employees who have quit, been fired, or changed positions. Any technical or procedural problems with the IDM systems will leave people with access they should not have. Number 3, lack of a common approach. With some apps, web access managers only handle authentication. Other apps delegate authorization to the Web Access Manager. When the Web Access Manager is responsible for authorization, risks can be prevented unless the policies in the Access Manager are driven by roles granted by an IDM system. This would mean there is some common nomenclature. Number 4, proprietary provisioning. Apps like SAP and Siebel contain their own roles. If the Web Access Manager handles authorization for those, then these ERP systems need to replicate the roles in those systems to the common user store. Bottom line. The takeaway message here is that a web access management system should be coupled with some kind of IDM system in order to reduce the kinds of errors listed above and ultimately regulatory fines. This gives one system control over the data used as the source for web access management. What is your experience with web access management products? Please share your thoughts in the comments box below. And to follow through on the tips introduced in the short article, be sure to download your free copy of the 8-point Identity Management Checklist. You can download a copy of this checklist while it's still available at idmchecklist.com. Thanks so much for stopping by and tuning in today to learn all about the 4 web access management problems that lead to regulatory fines.